tribute. That's one of my favorite Biggie joints, Unbelievable. And you got to get into some of the classics later on, Absurd. Some more of the classics, you know? Well, WKMJ 90.3 FM livestream.com/EAR2 the streets every Monday night, 9 to midnight. We have a very special guest in the house. And I don't know if he brought the cold weather because of this brick outside. And he hails from Brick City, Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Kalil Kash.
Yeah, what up?
What's going on, man? How you been? How's everything?
Good, you know what I mean?
It's always a pleasure whenever I see you, you know.
Definitely.
I always see you running around the city. You're here, your public assembly.
Word.
You was at the, well, it's no longer the court, but, you know, back in the court tavern, back what it was.
Word.
You're one of the last few of the newer MCs that I met who got a chance to perform there before.
Yeah, man. That was a cool spot to rock at, man. I remember the first time I rocked that out there. That was opening up for Master Ace, right?
Yeah, at the birthday bash for Absurd and I, yeah.
That was sick. That was sick.
And you're a prime example, and I'm going to say this not to put anyone on the spot or blow anybody up, but I remember when I told you, you were like, and I said, I'd like for you to rock 2 joints, because you were like, can I rock some more? I'm like, I would, but Absurd and I had such a long lineup. You were like, all right, it's cool. And this goes to show, it doesn't matter how much you rock, it's how good you rock, and you were still able to flip CDs.
Word up.
He was still able to flip CDs.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, exactly.
The point I'm trying to make here is that everyone feels that if they rock like an hour set, if you're really hot, you could do one song, and that's when the crowd, you know you're hot in the crowd once you come back on stage.
You could rock an hour set and be boring.
Yeah, exactly. But getting back to this game, I know you have the new album, Kingdom, getting ready to come out in late spring, early summer.
Yep.
How is this different from the last album, Exit Method?
It's definitely different in content. I would definitely say that. I mean, it's most likely going to be very different in sound too. I wouldn't say different as far as getting away from, you know, that hardcore straight up hip hop, because it's gonna be hip hop. You know what I mean? No matter what. But you know, I don't want to give away too many things, but it's definitely gonna be a different experience. At least I would hope so anyway. But you know, I'm not trying to really force any new different sound. I'm just being me. You know what I mean? Being me as who I am right now. You know what I mean?
Because your trend of music and your style and your sound, it's a very it's up to date, and it's still underground. But you're not with the traditional backpacker. You are. I hate to use the term backpacker, but you know how a lot of times guys when they come up on the underground, it's more of that real underground boom bappish sound. You still keep it out, but you're still able to update yourself. We still have guys that's 2012, and guys are still rhyming like we back in 1998. A lot of these, it's not that their music sounds bad, but it's like a lot of these guys. You ask them how old are you, they're like they're 20. Like you was born in 1992. Like what do you know about? I'm not that you won't know anything. That's wrong. I shouldn't say, but at least you still have to move with the time.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing I can say about an artist like Busta Rhymes. He moves with the times. He always reinvents himself. How are you able to still try to move with the times? Because you're about 26 now.
Going on 27.
27. Yeah. How are you able to what makes you still stay relevant with the times?
Well, the thing is, I don't really think about trying to be relevant with the times. It's just because I mean, it's obvious that I have a lot of influence from boom bap stuff because that's a lot of stuff I'm into. You know what I mean? But that's, like you said, I don't really consider myself a backpacker or any term, really. It's just I take influence from the old school and apply it to just something that I want to make, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Just something new.
Okay. So I noticed on your last album, you didn't have many guest appearances other than I believe it was just members of OISD and Top Dollar Raz. Because a lot of guys try to have even underground and commercial, I hate the term underground, artists as a whole period, try to flood an album and just put a lot of featured guest appearances. How come you decided not to do so much of that? That's
because
and not even from paying, and not even the process of paying artists, that's a whole other discussion, but just in general. But that's just but in general, why didn't you, how come you were like, you know what, I'm not going to have so many features and stuff, I'm going to just try to keep it me. Why did you?
Because, I mean, I wanted to keep it me. I want people to get me out the album. I don't want people to get everybody else. So I don't, I feel my music is good enough, my rhyming, my lyrics are good enough to stand by itself without having, I'm not gonna diss anybody that does use, have a lot of features. That's what you do, it's cool. But for me, I want cats to get me on the album, like you bought a Kalil Kash album. you expect to have a Kalil Kash album. So.
Well said. And I know you've worked with Porter Rock in the past, and Porter Rock, I had him on the phone to tell you what's up. And also, number two, tell us about that collaboration with Porter Rock. How did that get down? How did you go down?
Well, which one?
Oh yeah, he said you worked on something more recent with him.
Oh yeah. We were talking about that recently about dropping that. It was this song. I don't even have a title for it, and it's funny. I went over. It actually wasn't that recent. It was a couple of years ago. But I went to his house to just do his joint. I was listening to some beats, and he turned the beat on. I was like, yo, that right there, I need that. It was bananas, like just raw, just straight raw hip hop. And he was telling me actually like, yo, I had this, like, he told me after I finished it, he was like, yo, I had this beat reserved like to send to Nas. But since you wrote some craziness on it, yo, you could rock it. I was like, are you out of your mind? Like, are you serious? It bugged me out. But I did the joint, so it's just been basically in my hard drive for like a minute now. So definitely want to drop that soon enough.
Okay. And you'll bring it here first.
Of course.
Are there any producers out there you would like to work with in the future?
As far as like famous cats, or
it could be famous, we'll say. Or
famous.
And you would think that you might want to work with
Just Blaze.
Okay.
Just Blaze. Like if I said aiming for the stars, like Just Blaze. But
and you mentioned aiming for the stars. You are supposed to shoot for the stars. I don't care.
Word up.
Like there's a saying, I might be laying in the gutter, but I'm shooting for the stars. That's what's supposed to be.
Word up.
And you're from Brick City, so you keep a gutter all day.
Of course. Yo.
Well, I'd like to get into a joint from you. I know we've been spinning your joint, DeLorean, which is gonna be on. It's gonna be on Kingdom.
That's the first single.
That's the first single off of Kingdom. When are you shooting the video?
I'm not exactly sure yet exactly when, but I was thinking trying to talk to some directors and going over some treatment ideas. So I'm not exactly sure when.
Okay.
Soon enough, though.
Soon enough, because I love making cameo appearances in videos. Many people can say they've seen me in the hood. Everybody's like, yo.
Should have been a Bang video, though.
I was gonna make it that day, and I called you, and I was like, yo. I woke up too late, man, because I was working nights at the time.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
So, it is.
You know how that goes.
I know exactly how that goes.
90.3 FM, WKNJLivestream.com/EAR2, the streets every Monday night, 9 to midnight. We'll be back with Kalil Kash in a little bit. We're about to get into playing his single DeLorean. Let go. All right, absurd.